Today I fucked up by stripping in front of my girlfriend's BFFs, NSFW. It's as stupid as it sounds. Yesterday my girl had her weekly friends evening with her BFFs. They usually come over to our flat and they drink, talk and watch movies. Around that time I'm usually at the gym so to not disturb them. But yesterday a friend of mine wanted to come along so I went there an hour earlier. Sometimes after I come home from training we have spontaneous sex, as she likes me being sweaty from the gym. So I come home early and hear the TV running and I assumed that she didn't hear me. That's when the dick-driven idiot part of my brain forgot about the fact that she had girls' evening and suggested to get rid of all clothes and jump her on the couch. I busted through the door and have more eyes on me than planned. Her best friends stare at me in complete disbelief, nobody saying a word. Some get red and look away, some stare at me like they've never seen a man's privates before, and my girlfriend started to gasp, followed with more gasping and stumps of words and ending with a well-deserved WTF. The silence after that was fucking killing me, but my girlfriend came to the rescue. I uttered a loud fuck and she instantly replied with, "Good plan, bad execution." Her friends all laughed and even I had to smile at that before fleeing the scene to get some clothes. I even joined them after that, although still embarrassed. Of course my dick was the talk of the town, but they at least all took it with humor. TL, Doctor, busted naked into my so's girl evening. Edit, holy shit, rip my inbox. Thanks to everyone for their funny comments, upvotes and to the anonymous benefactors for their gold/silver. And now to answer the most asked questions. Yes, I asserted dominance by slapping everyone with my dick and yelling piñata. Piñata? Of course I ran home naked to surprise my girlfriend. Yes, I plan to marry my so. Plan includes me naked manning her girl's evening again with her ring around my cock and a bow tie. Yes, I will post an update when the time comes. Don't know how long that will take though. Yes, the update will include a live stream. And the most asked question, yes, I'm well equipped and stormed the castle with a raging boner and in helicopter motion. Dick stopped at 2 o'clock, when I realized the fuck up. I can just imagine talking about some serious things when some naked dude busts the door down, silence, and then fuck. Helicopter dick stops mid-rotation. The naked man works 2/3 of the time. Took my chances, man does what a man's gonna do. They all took it with humor. Nice, dot. I mean, how can you take something that small seriously? I swear this is how every stepsister fucks stepbrother porno starts. You're the best brother I could ever ask for, nervous sweat. Good plan, bad execution. Perfect reaction. You gotta keep her there, mate. Yeah, need to get a ring for her now. Today I fucked up by putting a rock in my ear, then leaving it for roughly 13 years. Bit of context, I was a fairly dumb 9-year-old at the time this happened. I'm 26 now. Well, it begins at a smallish, outside, family gathering on my dad's side. My parents split up some few years earlier, and my mom had primary custody, and I had spaced myself from the other children and took up refuge beneath the adult table. While I sat amongst rubble and dirt, I had this amazing idea to put pebbles in the ridge of my ear now and again, and treat them individually like a car on a racetrack. Again, I wasn't bright. Well, I drove one of them bitches right into my ear canal. That said, I flipped out at the idea that this object slid into my ear, and suddenly I can't remove it. Not a single adult was even aware I was under the table by this point, because of course all the brats were locked in the backyard. So when this screech of terror left my mouth, all that was heard otherwise would have been knees against the table and diningware clattering. I lost my mind. My dad yanked me up and immediately took me to the bathroom and started the hydrogen peroxide treatment to the ear, assuming it was just a panic attack, and that it was earwax agitating my eardrum or something. Probably not the most keen reaction, but the thought process was sound. Whatever really. Either way, after what seemed like hours, him, his mother, brothers, and sisters reassured me it was fine, saying it probably fell out and that I was overreacting. Okay. Sure. Let's skip ahead a bit, It was roughly a 2-year span between 14 and 16, and I'm in high school. This is where the real fun begins. Equilibrium, issues emerge, sprinkles of lost balance mostly. I could no longer submerge my head in water for more than a few seconds, high and low pressures made me sick. Plus general discomfort over little things like showering, sleeping, traveling. Was a nightmare, really? I get to thinking about things, and grab a simple paperclip then bend it straight, putting a little loop on the end before fishing around my ear for that imaginary rock I had long ago forgotten. All I hear is scrapes. SCRRCH, SKKKRT, SH. I'll admit, I immediately started to panic before running off to my mom, who rightfully rushed me to hospital while demanding why she hadn't been told up until now. That's another topic entirely. Well, wouldn't you know, though? The doctor said I was faking, examined my ear, and said I just had compacted earwax and was likely trying to get out of school. Right? It was probably June at the time. My mom didn't really believe him, but I decided balls to it. Let's get some hydroperox, because fuck hospitals really. Skip along the years a bit more. I'm 18 and I know for a fact there is something in my fucking head. I'm losing it. So I hit the hospital again, and this time the doctor outright states, there's definitely blockage. I'm not sure if it's a rock, but I can certainly try to help. So this professional pulled out this gnarly looking pair of scissor hemostats and gets to just having his absolute way with my ear canal, trying to get a grip on this smooth object. It was audio torture, hands down. Rubbing steel to granite, but centimeters from your eardrum, and this went on for at least 4 minutes, until my ear began to bleed lightly. The end results. You'll need to see a specialist, the specific type eludes me, but basically it was the same guy that removes peanuts from toddlers' nasal cavities. I'll admit right now, my choices here forward were dumb as all hell. The sight of my ear bleeding sent me off the deep end, and I began refusing all help entirely, only trying to remove it myself from that point on and truthfully just torturing myself when I reflect back. Let's time jump one last time. I'm 22, couple months away from 23, I have a wonderful girlfriend, things are great, but headaches have developed and are a reoccurring thing. However, my balance issues have basically been worked out. Great. But now, out of the blue, I'm losing hand-eye coordination. Well damn, you know. I attributed it to the rock in my fucking skull. I lost it yet again, and went on a rampage this time, demanding my girlfriend give me all her dental and dermal tools so that I could dig this chunk of earth out myself. 3 different sized hooped, still sticks, a couple of mirrors, a flat-ended rod and a hooked stick. But that last one was phased from the situation immediately. This was the beginning in some sense, to my 20-minute conquest to become a pro surgeon, and I locked myself away to be alone, working and prodding these weird little hooped rods around in my ear, mostly loosening wax and grinding against the round sides of the, admittedly small, stone. Eventually the rod's end slipped absurdly close to my eardrum, and wrapped around the rock. In an instant I froze, but my heart began pounding through my chest. Jackpot. Now, you see, this is a difficult feeling to explain in person, let alone through text. The pain from pulling this earwax lathered object from my ear canal was like a migraine shifting from my left ear to my right, while in the same sense it felt like I was passing a kidney stone from my skull. All in all, 2/10. Wouldn't do again. But now it's totally out and I have it put away in a Ziploc bag. I had no real recovery issues, I guess. As soon as the rock was out, my hearing was incredible in the one ear. For an entire day. Now it just rings occasionally. My balance won't ever be the same, I feel, but it's fine enough as is. Otherwise, underwater swimming is a no-go. I have minor sensitivity to changing atmospheric air pressure still, and I get occasional headaches around the right side of my head. Not a bad trade-out. Size reference. And NBSB. _edit_, for everyone calling me an idiot, trust me I know. For everyone concerned about my follow-through, it was 3 years ago and I've been to the hospital between then and now for basic checkups and have mentioned the stoned ear before. It's fine. This is why I can laugh it off. Underscore another edit underscore, 9 years old at the beginning, 22 at the removal. Had to check a few timestamps. I'm currently 26. Also, spelling? And NBSB. Too long didn't read. I put a rock in my ear at 9 years old, went to 2 doctors, one didn't believe me, the other couldn't help. Pulled it out myself after 13 years when I was 22 and now I can't swim underwater, storm cells give me minor headaches, and I have poor balance. All those years and no specialist intervention. You're lucky you can hear at all, and even luckier you didn't develop mastoiditis. That shit can kill ya. I popped one of my eardrums a couple of years ago. By the time I got to the specialist it had healed, but there was a huge clot stuck to it. The sound of someone pulling a clot out of what seemed like the center of my head was something else. Most bizarre sensation too. Here's what you do. You make an appointment with an ENT. Don't think about the actual visit with the doctor. Just call the front desk and set an appointment to get your ears looked at. When you get there, and you will go, tell the doctor that you have an aversion to doctors. That you have had bad experiences. Take out your bagged rock and tell him it's been sitting in your ear for years despite seeing a couple of doctors. Tell him that you are still experiencing dizziness, pressure, etc. That you just want him to make sure everything looks okay in the ear. And most importantly tell him to describe everything he is about to do. This will prepare you for any potential uncomfortable sensations. The fact that you absolutely freak out about sensations and not see a doctor tells me you need some extra care during examinations. Good luck. You still need to see a specialist. You could have an ear infection that can eat its way through your skull and cause all kinds of problems including death. Based on Ops cavalier attitude to complex medical issues, he'd probably just crush up some aspirin in mouthwash, pour it in and declare the infection over. I'm not trying to be mean, but the fact this dingus didn't deafen himself is proof that heaven loves a fool. This is an amazing story. Also, you need to work on your decision making regarding medical issues. Lol. I ignored a collapsed lung for 6 months. Macron ___ Macron. Me reading this, why can't you go to a specialist? Out of state, out of mind. Today I fucked up by labeling the breast milk in the fridge freshly squeezed titty juice. The repercussions happened today. The labeling of the titty juice was done yesterday. My wife and I have a newborn and we've been calling her breast milk titty juice from the moment it came out. We found it funny, and as we're finding out right now, having something to laugh about when you have a newborn around is very precious. While I was at the office today, my mother-in-law, who is a very strict and traditional Asian lady, came over to help my wife out and give her a bit of a rest. That rest was very short-lived. The baby decided it was hungry, so Grandma reached into the fridge to grab a package of breast milk. When she read freshly squeezed titty juice the 21st of July 2019, she lost her goddamn mind. She woke my wife up and aggressively expressed thoughts on how her one and only grandchild is going to be corrupt from the get-go. Raised with no manners or respect. She then left the house, saying she doesn't know if she can come back. My wife, on the other hand, besides being extremely tired, has had some of the hormonal challenges that can come from giving birth, and getting reamed out by her mom was a tipping point. She passed on the reaming over the phone, not the norm for her, with pretty much the gusto as her mother. I didn't get upset because I'm not the one who squeezed out a 7.5 pounds creature that does not keep a schedule, respect your time, and is completely dependent on you for its very survival. Too long didn't read. I labeled the breast milk a crude and offensive name. Now I have an even more tired, emotional and pissed wife to come home to, who may have lost some extra support. And a mother-in-law who thinks I embody everything that's wrong with Western culture and parents these days. We call it booby juice. And we just put the date. The bottles and bags are pretty distinctive. Love it. I have a feeling it wouldn't fly with the mother-in-law either, lol. On a positive note, my wife woke up and asked me to get the baby for its titty juice. So I guess it's still on the menu. Maybe just not on the labels for a while. It's now a secret menu item. The first part of this was objectively hilarious. I feel so bad for you and your wife that your mother-in-law was so rough. Hopefully you can get through this with minimal suffering. Having a newborn is hard enough. We now have dinner at their place on Sunday. Unenthusiastic yay. Edit, came home with ice cream, flowers and a hug. Took over baby duties and let her sleep. She's happier now. Anyone who wakes a new mom deserves to be decked, mill or not. Indeed, how blooming rude and selfish over a label. The mill is atrocious. Upvote for the jokes, Asian mom, now granny, hence the baby, just can't take some joke. I am Asian too smile. Cheers mate, it'll pass. The sleepless nights. It's only been 3 weeks, sleep seems like such a distant memory already. Left the house, saying she doesn't know if she can come back. Wait. I'm sorry. Did you say she disturbed the precious sleep of a woman who has recently given birth to and is caring for a newborn, to give her a lecture about being a potty mouth? Good fucking riddance, then. If anyone had ever woken me from a nap during the newborn phase for anything but the baby needs to eat or the house is on fire, I would have never spoken to them again. Your mill sucks and you're a good partner for cutting your wife slack for passing the venom on to you. But seriously though, if Mill never comes back, that sounds like a problem that solves itself.